So your mom finally kicks you out of her basement because she got sick of hearing you screaming at video games all night. But fortunately for you, you just picked up a skinny guy camper. And I'm going to show you how to deploy this thing. Oh man, the lighting's wrong for full flex. So, when you have a truck like the Moose, sometimes you gotta clear some trails. So this little Milwaukee So after you miraculously find yourself out in some patch of woods or in your mom's backyard, first thing you gotta do is find a level camping spot so that way you're not sleeping all weird. And once you do that, you're gonna need a couple things. You're gonna need both of these bed supports, the big thing you thought was a nunchuck, and your ladder bag, which I usually keep in the camper. So first thing you need to do is undo these two latches here. Now there's two on this side, two on the other side. And both of the front latches have this little safety here. So that way, tent doesn't fly open when you're driving on the highway looking like you're trying to air out a tent at 60 miles an hour. Now you can see on both sides there are gas struts to help with opening and closing the tent. This shock helps with the camper's off-road performance. Next up, you're going to grab your little nunchuck sword piece, and then you're going to insert it into a special port. This one up here to be exact. And you'll see that lock into place. Next, using all those muscles from your high school sport days, you're gonna push the tent open. Now I just want to note, it is helpful to either open up the door or some windows so that way when you're opening and closing the tent, it'll allow air to escape and go inside the camper so that way it's not creating a suction effect. Next up, you want to open up this door. Yeah. Then it just comes out. Next up, you need to take your ladder, which I usually store in here, take it out of your bag, and eat your bag. You also want to throw this thing somewhere. Now, in all my abundant overland knowledge that I definitely didn't discover like a month ago, the easiest way to do this telescoping ladder is in twos, and then it's all nice and even if you're OCD like I am, and works out pretty well. But this is an alu-cab ladder, telescoping ladder. And it's pretty cool because it has these really big platforms, which if you've used a normal rooftop tent ladder, they don't have that. So inside the camper, you're gonna have to flip this little bar out to attach your ladder, and you'll see a big hole on the right, little hole on the left. You're going to move the safety latch down, insert the big end into the big hole, the little end into the little hole. Take your safety latch, fold it down, extend the ladder if you haven't already, and you're all set up. Just kidding, there's actually a lot more you need to do. So with the sword nunchuck thing, now that you have your tent extended, you're gonna fold that up. There's a little pin you'll see at the end. You have to match that up with this little piece here. Easiest way I've found. So you're gonna have to pull this down. It's a lot easier with two people, but you can manage it with one. And then ever so carefully miss the hole. Take the pin out, reinsert said pin until you find the hole. God, what I always have this problem. And there, now your support is done. Gotcha again. So you're gonna take these little rods here that you and your buddy have been using as lightsabers, and you're gonna start by inserting top one on the base of the camper. Safety pin back in. Undo this end down here. And you'll probably have to wiggle this back and forth to get it on there correctly. Reinsert your safety pin, do the same thing the other side. You know, so that way you have support for all your late night activities. So next thing up, you're going to have to put these pillows out, you know, for you and your buddies to sit and play Xbox. So now you'll have to move these rods up so that way the tent can be fully extended. And you're gonna see down here these little mini barbell grips. And you're just gonna go ahead and push this up and then lock your barbell grip in, and that'll make the tent nice and taut. Probably not actually called barbell clamps, but that's what I'm gonna go with because, you know, that's what I'm familiar with. And I'm a rock eater, so. So now that you've got most of your camper set up, you'll have to set up your little kitchen unit to cook what I'm sure the only thing you know how to make is mac and cheese on, which fortunately that does have a burner and a sink, so you can take care of all those. Basically, you're going to take that and set it up there. Now down here you can see all your various hookups, but before you do any of that, you're going to want to take this little screw out, screw it into that little hole right there, so that way this whole unit is nice and secure. You're going to start plugging stuff in. Obviously your blue one is for your cold water. Your red one goes in your hot water. Your sink drain goes in there. You want to make sure, even if you don't intend to cook, you plug this into here. Otherwise your Trumacami heater will not want to let you turn hot air on. But this is your propane hookup, and then there is a valve on the back right here, but make sure you turn the propane on the back as well. Otherwise it ain't going to work for you. Then once you've got all your hookups, you can enjoy yourself a nice bowl of Kraft mac and cheese. And then so you don't end up hanging yourself on the way out, you're going to take this rod, clip this little Velcro piece. Now traditionally in this space, that is where your fridge will go. I'm not going to do a full tour of this. I already have one, which you will see up here. And that brings us to the end of the video. To pack away the camper, you'll essentially do everything I did in reverse. So, you know, take the video at the end, rewind it, whatever you got to do to make all that work. But anyway, huge shout out to the guys over at Skinny Guy Campers for hooking me up with such an elegant camper to have in the bed of my truck. I am Hunter with Rebel Outdoors, everybody's favorite bald, bearded guy in a brown truck. Like, share, subscribe, turn on little bell notifications so you'll get notified when I put out new videos every week. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one. But whenever your mom lets you come back inside the house, just close the camper up, do everything in reverse. It'll work out fine. You'll also want to make sure to button all these things for the door down, so that way you can zip this up and have some privacy.